El suceso de Abbey Grange. Venga, vamos a ver este.
The game is afoot, not a word. Into your clothes and come. I'll wait for you in the sitting room. I've just received a note from Inspector Lestrade, a letter from the suburbs. He is in need of my presence. Whenever he has asked for my assistance, it has always turned out to be entirely justified. I fancy that every one of his cases has found its way into your collection.
Yes, they all seem worthy of...
However, I regret your fatal habit of looking at everything from the point of view of a story instead of a scientific exercise.
Oh, Holmes, you...
I beg your pardon, I digress. It would be much better to examine this letter than to try to convince you.
Bueno. ¿Tendrá la vecina gorda? Joder, tío, por favor. Bueno, si estos son los, como ya sabéis. Y la daga de oro. No, la dejo. Vale.
The letter is on the table, Holmes. You should take a look.
Aquí.
My analysis table. It is useful for my work.
Aquí.
The Brackenstall family coat of arms. A wax seal with the monogram E.B. I can tell from Lestrade's handwriting that he was in a hurry when he wrote this letter.
Abbey Grange, Marsham, Kent, 3:03 AM. Mi querido señor Holmes, me gustaría mucho poder contar cuanto antes con su ayuda en lo que promete ser un caso de lo más extraordinario. Parece que entra de lleno en su especialidad. Aparte de dejar libre a la señora, procuraré que todo se mantenga exactamente como lo encontré, pero le ruego que no pierda un instante porque es difícil dejar aquí a Sir Eustace. Le saluda atentamente el inspector Lestrade. Bueno,
so, ¿no? What is it, Holmes?
Promising, as always. It appears to be a case of murder.
So you believe that Sir Eustace is dead?
I should say so. Lestrade wouldn't have sent for me for less. His writing shows considerable agitation, and he is not an emotional man. These people belong to high society. The quality of the writing paper, the E.B. monogram, their coat of arms. The crime was committed before midnight.
Holmes, how can you possibly tell?
Well, it is all thanks to Lestrade. He wrote his letter at 3:30 in the morning. Imagine the chain of events before that. The local police had to be called in. Scotland Yard was notified. Lestrade himself had to make haste there, and finally compose the letter he sent to me. All of that makes for a fair night's work.
It makes sense. Lestrade also speaks of the woman he released.
That seems to indicate that she had been held somewhere during the crime. Much time has been wasted. Let us find a cab and go to Abbey Grange immediately. I live in hope of an interesting morning.
Bueno, pues vamos para allá. Crimen y castigo.
Mr. Holmes and Dr. Watson, here you are. I'm very glad that you have come, but perhaps I should not have troubled you after all.
And why is that?
Lady Brackenstall has come to her senses, and she has given so clear an account of the affair that there is not much left for us to do. You remember that Lewisham gang of burglars?
What, the three Randalls?
Exactly. The father and two sons. It's their work. They stole a silver service, which is of great value.
Sir Eustace Brackenstall is dead, then?
Yes. His head was knocked in with his own poker.
A violent act of aggression.
Yes, the poor lady. She has had a most dreadful experience. She was assaulted and tied to a chair. but I think that you would best see her and hear her account of the facts. She's in the morning room with her maid, Teresa Wright.
Where is the body of the deceased?
In the dining room. We haven't touched anything.
All right. I'm going to examine it.
Very good, Watson.
Vale.
Sir Warthen Brackenstall.
Lady Brackenstall awaits you in the morning room.
Sí, pero yo quiero ver el cuadro. Si se quita del medio...
Lord Ramsay
No.
Lord Brigham Brackenstall.
¿Es el mismo? Yo diría que sí, ¿no?
Baron Lyndon Brackenstall.
Joder.
Lord George Brackenstall. The Brackenstall family seems... Ladies, allow me to introduce myself. My name is Sherlock Holmes. I'm assisting Inspector Lestrade in this investigation.
Mr. Holmes, I am the wife of Sir Eustace Brackenstall. We were married only a year ago.
I am sorry for your loss. Please accept my deepest condolences.
I suppose that it is no use my attempting to conceal that our marriage has not been a happy one. I fear that all would tell you that, even if I were to attempt to deny it.
Le han dejado la cara hecho un Cristo. Cardenales recientes. Aquí. Mejillas pálidas. Broche de oro, canguro de mu, origen australiano. Vestido elegante. Cardenales viejos. Alianza.
You mentioned that your marriage was not a happy one. Was there anything specific that was troubling you?
He was not a nice man when he was drunk, and he suffered from dark moods, but nothing else.
En esa época debía ser normal beber, jodas.
The bruises on your hands are at least 1 week old. Your husband caused those bruises?
Oh, do you? Yes, he did. He was very angry at the time. Out of control. Again. Sir Eustace was a drunkard. To be tied to such a man for life is worse than death.
Can you describe to me the events of yesterday evening?
Is it really necessary? I have already told Inspector Lestrade all that happened.
Yes, madam, it is.
I will tell you then. Sir Eustace retired about 10:30. I sat in this room until after 11, absorbed in a book. Before I went upstairs, I entered the dining room to fetch a candle and... oh God.
Please, go on.
As I approached the French window, I found myself face to face with an elderly, broad-shouldered man who had just stepped into the room. Close behind the first man, I saw 2 others. One of them struck me a savage blow with his fist and felled me unconscious to the ground.
And then?
When I came to myself, I found that they had secured me tightly to a dining room chair. It was at that instant my unfortunate husband entered the room.
He fought with the intruders?
Yes, I think he had heard them, for he was holding his stick. But they were 3, and he eventually succumbed. One of them, the elder one, struck him a terrible blow with the poker. I fainted once more. When I opened my eyes, they had withdrawn. Then my brave Teresa came to my assistance.
Did these 3 villains steal anything?
Yes, I found that they had taken the silver from the sideboard, but you can see for yourself in the dining room.
Your ladyship?
Muy raro, ¿no? Vamos a hablar con ella.
Teresa, I would like to hear your testimony.
Certainly, sir.
Arrugas de mediana edad. Cariñosa. Manos castigadas. Manchas de café.
As I sat by my bedroom window, I saw 3 men in the moonlight down by the lodge gate. But I thought nothing of it at the time. Oh, if I'd known.
And then?
I went to bed, and it was more than an hour after that I heard my mistress scream. And down I ran, to find her tied to the chair and him on the floor with his head smashed. That's all I know.
Poquita cosa, ¿no?
These scratches are most definitely made by the picture frame. This is Sir Eustace's safe. There may be something important inside. I must...
A ver si nos la abre.
Lady Brackenstall, could you open this wall safe?
No, it is my husband's safe. I do not know the combination.
We have to open it. Your ladyship?
Aquí terminó. A ver. Lady Brackenstall. Lady Brackenstall, de 25 años recién cumplidos, proviene de una adinerada familia australiana. Lleva casada algo más de un año. Con toda probabilidad ha sufrido violencia física durante los últimos 15 días. Lleva una vida solitaria y rara vez sale de su hacienda. Teresa. Teresa está muy unida a su señora y la conoce desde hace tiempo. Es la única criada residente en Abbey Grange y cocina, sirve y atiende a Lady Brackenstall. No dudaría en protegerla si surgiera cualquier problema. Vale. De momento aquí tengo los cardenales. No, la declaración. A ver. Parece que es un robo que acabó en asesinato. Lady Brackenstall fue atacada y atada a la silla. Sir Eustace Brackenstall, que trató de resistirse, está muerto. Fue golpeado en la cabeza con su propio atizador. Según el demonio de Lady Brackenstall, el crimen fue cometido por la banda de ladrones de Lewisham, los 3 Randall. Esto, nada, y aquí, ¿qué necesito? Investigar, vale. Examinar la habitación donde está descansando Lady. Examinar la escena del crimen del comedor. En un principio por aquí no tengo así nada más que investigar, simplemente el cuadro ese. Como la mesita, mira. Bueno, cogemos el cuadro.
This photograph of Lady Brackenstall and her maid Teresa was taken at a port, but which one? So the lady and her maid came from Australia a year and a half ago on this ship.
Me quedo con el cuadro. Bueno, el cuadro, con la foto, perdona. Floreciente negocio familiar. La banda de los Randall está de vuelta. Hace menos de 15 días esta infame familia de ladrones conocidos como los Randall hizo su reaparición por medio de una brutal pero exitosa intrusión en una de las casas más adineradas de Sydenham. La policía ya está tras su vista, aunque los detalles del crimen continúan siendo confidenciales, incluido el nombre de la víctima. Un testigo pudo proporcionar una descripción precisa de los 3 hombres, lo que sin duda permitirá a la policía completar su perfil de esta familia de delincuentes. Nos tomamos la libertad de recordarles a nuestros estimados lectores que esta banda es sumamente peligrosa y a continuación reproducimos su descripción más exacta hasta la fecha. Ay, joder, quiero estornudar. Ahora. La banda lleva un tiempo considerable en activo y se trata de una familia que consta de 3 miembros, un padre y sus 2 hijos. Yo creo... no van a ser estos los que hayan cometido el crimen. Lo han metido porque tienen información de ellos, pero no son ellos. Vale, el padre, Jack Randall, es un hombre de unos 40 años, ya canoso, de estatura y constitución media. Es el cerebro tras los golpes y mantiene el control de sus dos hijos, que son de una edad similar, aunque muy distintos de aspectos. El hijo mayor, William Randall, es alto y ancho de hombros, con una cabeza desproporcionadamente pequeña. El menor, Melvin Randall, tiene una constitución algo más débil y es delgado como un rastrillo. Se busca a la banda no únicamente por sus frecuentes robos con escalas, sino también por su carrera en la piratería, de una brutalidad excepcional, que desarrollaron antes de su regreso a Inglaterra. Manténganse alerta y que sus objetos de valor permanezcan a salvo. Vale, dentro aquí tengo esto, Rock of Gibraltar, vale, del 93.
The description of the Randall gang provided by Lady Brackenstall is identical to the one in the Times article.
Yo creo que de ahí han cogido la descripción. Los Randall inculpados. El robo fue fingido y se inventó toda una historia para inculpar a los Randall en la muerte de Sir Eustace. La banda de los Randall. Los testimonios y las pruebas concuerdan y ambos apuntan a la banda de los Randall. Yo pienso que han metido a los Randall en esto, pero ellos no tienen nada que ver. Yo creo que ellos no tienen nada que ver. Y tenía... Uy, me he equivocado. Tenía otro por aquí, ¿no? Vale, no tengo ninguna información más. Vamos a mirar el cadáver del hombre. Gracias. Le gustaba la caza,
You should
¿no?
examine the body of Sir Eustace Brackenstall.
So, Watson, what have you learned from examining Sir Eustace's body?
Well, I can confirm that the death was instant. Sir Eustace was facing his attacker when he received the blow to his head. There are no other apparent injuries.
It appears that the bell rope was cut by someone taller than me. A fur trader's cabin. A fur trader's cabin. A deer hunt. Sailor's knots. That's interesting. This rope was handled by the murderers. We need a scent hound to follow their trail. I will take it with me.
Vale.
This is the chair that Lady Brackenstall was tied to. The hunting scene. These wine bottles are expensive and mostly from France. An empty silverware box. It appears that the intruders have stolen the contents. This candlestick is valuable. It is interesting that it was not also stolen. A bottle of wine is missing here. The criminals did not thoroughly ransack the house. They only took a little silverware.
Vamos a mirar el cuerpo.
That must be the murder weapon. Quite a large stick, a formidable weapon. Barefoot. He had therefore been in bed and did not have time to fully dress. It is covered in blood, so Eustace might have struck his head upon it while falling from the blow. That is one possible explanation. The head was cracked with the force of the blow.
A ver qué cosita hemos deducido. Accidente mortal. La muerte de Sir Eustace pudo deberse a un golpe accidental con la rejilla de la chimenea. Golpe con el atizador. La muerte de Sir Eustace pudo deberse a un golpe con el atizador. Pues que podía haber sido un accidente, o sea, que forcejease la mujer con él. Pudo ser, ¿no? De momento, por los hechos, vamos a ponerle con el atizador. Pero yo no estoy muy seguro tampoco. Aquí hay 3 copas de vino.
This glass has some wine traces, but no visible beeswing. This glass has some wine traces, but no visible beeswing. There is beeswing at the bottom, as if the wine had not been decanted before being poured. It is rather strange that only one of these glasses has dregs of beeswing inside it, while the other 2 are clear. A decanter standing next to the open bottle, an inseparable pair indeed. Chateau Calon-Ségur, French wine, Grand Cru. Antique hunting weapons. The hunting scene.
Por aquí no hay nada. Por aquí puedo yo saber, ¿sabes? Un pozo. Para mí que ahí tiraron la cubertería. No me digas que no me dejas investigarlo. Bueno. Dice que los vio en el cobertizo, ¿no? El cobertizo me parece que es este de aquí. Pues no puedo entrar. Qué guay. Así voy a investigar yo mucho. Vale, en los bancos no parece haber nada. Bueno, va usted a investigar algo porque, joder, no está dejándome piquear nada. O sea, hay ahí un periódico con unas gafas, que las gafas podría decir en plan de... alguien utiliza gafas. No sé, ese tipo de cosas. Aquí fuera no hay nada, me resulta realmente extraño que aquí fuera no haya ninguna pista. Algo me estoy teniendo que dejar seguramente. Tengo que preguntar por las copas de vino. Y luego tendré que ir a Baker Street.
There are 3 glasses on the dining room table. I was wondering if...
Oh, I forgot. When I came to myself the first time, each of them had a glass in his hand. They might have been a father and his 2 sons. They talked together in whispers, and then they left.
Your ladyship?
Qué raro, ¿no? Bueno. Vamos a ir a Baker Street. Imagino que tendré que utilizar al perro para que olfatee. ¿Dónde está el chucho? Aquí.
Come on, Toby. We need the best nose in the British Empire on this case. I agree with you, Toby, that Watson's shoe is preferable to Mrs. Hudson's cold cuts.
Ya está, me le llevo directamente, ¿no? Creo que sí. Sí, mira, ahí me le llevo. Está claro.